Hello YouTube, I'm at 2057, 1355th in the world. I've been playing again this Little Prince Evo Knight 2.6 deck and it's been going crazy. I'm going to show you guys some pretty nutty replays of matchups that I really shouldn't have won but somehow managed to just because of this variation of this deck. Let's jump into it. So this first game is against LavaLoon and this should be a complete hard counter. But you'll see, we managed to completely outplay him in the rest of this game. He messes up at the start, I don't know what he was doing, maybe misclicked or something, but we start off with a nice bit of damage, like right at the beginning. I'm just cycling cards, I go Skeletons and Knight, sort of just waiting to see. Most lava decks run Barbs, so I tried forcing it out, and thankfully we get it out. And now he has no ground counters for my Hog Rider. So instead of going for an Ice Spirit, I go for a Hog Rider immediately so I get back to it even quicker. And also I kind of want to use my Ice Spirit for defense against stuff like his Inferno Dragon. Like here I just go Ice Spirit in the back and then Skeletons. Honestly, he could have zapped maybe, but he goes for a Lava Hound. And I go for what is turned out to be not really a good Knight. The Inferno locks onto it just for long enough that he can full counter it with Skeletons, which isn't really what I wanted. I go for a Little Prince, and I'm kind of just waiting to see what he wants to do. I was expecting him to Skeleton Dragon, so I reacted as quickly as I could, and managed to get my Guardian down before his Skeleton Dragon's locked on. I decided to fireball them because, I mean, I have no real other option to kill them. So at this point, we're fine. My cycle's not great because I can't really go in. This balloon makes no sense. I don't know why he did this. And if I was smarter, I probably could have gone for a Hog instantly with Evo Skeletons because he needs 8 Elixir. So actually, I wish I'd gone for Hog Evo Skeletons immediately. I would have just won the game right there and then. But even still, I'm cycling my Little Prince. I know he has Lava Hound, but at the same time, I need to counter these Evo Barbs, and this also gives me a bit of a counter push. My Guardian still has a bit of health. I go for an Evo Knight in front, because why not keep the Guardian alive? And I just go in, because he doesn't have Barbs, all he has is his Evo Skeletons, right? And so he goes for them onto my Little Prince, but I just log, and I still have a lot of stuff going towards his King Tower, which he has to respond to. I fireball and I'm just trying to get chip damage, like as much damage on his king as possible. I'm distracting his Inferno, and I go for a Knight to kite as well, right? So his Inferno is still not going to my tower. I'm just stalling. I have 15 seconds left, and all I have to do is just stall for the rest of the game, and I'll win. So yeah, we get the cannon down. The left side there's not threatening at all, so I just fireball, and yeah, it's GG's. Nice game against a complete hard counter. We're again playing against the most meta Hog deck in the game right now, this Mighty Miner Hog Eq. I mean, I've posted a few videos of it recently myself. It's a bit of a tough matchup, but the fact that we have Little Prince means we can also keep up with his 3-card cycle, so, you know, it makes it maybe a bit more manageable. Although Little Prince is a lot worse DPS-wise than a Musketeer, so well, I'm not really sure if the match was better or worse, but yeah, here I just go for a cannon and a Knight. That should full counter. I go with Skellies just because I need to finish off the Hog Rider. Goes for a Firecracker at the bridge, does get one hit, but now he doesn't have his Mighty Miner in cycle, so I use my Little Prince ability, and I know he has to spend tons of Elixir. He has to go for a Tesla because he has nothing else. He even messes the Tesla up, and then I just go for a Hog opposite lane. And that's so much early damage. You guys can really punish champion decks, that too especially this Hog Eq deck, where they only have one Mighty Miner on the field at a time, and even once the Mighty Miner dies, they still have to play 3 cards to get to it. So you can really abuse that fact just by punishing, you know, them not having a good way of dealing with Little Prince plus Guardian. Goes for a Hog. I do mess up, I don't really know what I was doing, but it's not too bad. It's only one Hog hit. Ice Spirit to distract the Fire Spirit. He correctly, I think, doesn't defend his Firecracker because he doesn't give me King Tower. A little bit annoying that I don't have King Tower at this point, even though he's played his Firecracker, but again, he cycles his Mighty Miner, and I'm thinking the same thing. I go split, so if he uses his bomb, you know, it still dies. Right, he can't use his Mighty Miner Bomb, it would be a waste. And we have 3 card cycles, so now I know he doesn't have his Evo Knight. Oh, sorry, his Mighty Miner, and I have my Evo Knight. So I have Firecracker and ability, and I'm just applying pressure at this point. I should have probably gone for like a log or something, but it's okay. I just ignore this hog damage, you know, I'm evening up the damage on both sides, so it's not really a big deal. Evo Skellies get a little bit close to my tower, but we're still, you know, way in front in terms of damage. I've just got to not mess up and I win this. So, Little Prince in the back, same lane. Got to be careful of Firecracker at the bridge, but he just decides to spam the opposite lane. I went Fireball trying to hit I went for Prediction Fireball trying to hit the Hog Rider, but he went for it early. And yeah, caught me off guard a little bit. So I log, I go for a cannon push, you know, quick little reflexes there. You got to be quick to beat Hog Eq and to be able to pull that cannon trick off. Yeah. I pop my ability a little bit late. The Little Prince does cross the bridge, but it doesn't really matter. Again, split Evo Skeleton, so we can't use his Mighty Miner ability. He goes for a log, and now I know he's going to go for a Hog Rider, so I just go for Cannon Ice Spirit, and then I get King Tower as well. That full counters. He goes Evo Skeletons on defense, so everything's working out so far. I've just got to be careful. But you can see I timed this to perfection. Look at that. That was so perfect. Perfect defense. And again, now he doesn't have Mighty Miner. Yet again. And I have Evo Knight. And I'm going to get a Little Prince ability on the left. So he's going to have to cycle a bunch of cards and waste Elixir just to get to it. So I go here. I go for this Fireball. The Firecracker jumps back, as it always does. And I basically hit nothing. But it doesn't matter because I've already killed his Tesla and he's wasted so much Elixir cycling to his Mighty Miner that he couldn't get back to another Tesla. At this point, it's GG's if I just don't mess up. So I'm just, you know, playing it out, making sure I don't take unnecessary damage. He hasn't given up. You know, I wish he would, but you never know. You shouldn't really give up. So I hoped he would, but he shouldn't. He definitely could still win this if I make a mistake. Yeah, I even knew he was going to go for his Evo Cracker, but instead of going for prediction plays and wasting Elixir, you know, I just went for the safe play of Knight to one side and then just Fireball it once he plays. Again, doesn't have Mighty Miner, so he can't really defend my Guardian, which is why I popped the ability. I Fireball thinking it would take longer, but my cannon actually got a hit on the Tesla, and yeah. A really, really clean game. I'm quite happy with how this game went. This guy actually has a top 200 finish, so this guy is no slouch. He finished top 1k last season, and he's also using the Cannoneer, which is it's such a stupid tower troop. You guys will see. I mean, it's just so broken, it just annoys me, but, you know, the game's the game, and I didn't spend the $50 or £50 to buy it, as I'm sure most of you didn't either. Again, we do start slightly higher up on HP, you know, we're 800 damage up, so I've got to somehow try and use that to my advantage, so hopefully stop him from getting too much minor poison chip. I go for this because I know that if he poisons, I can just go for this Little Prince in the back. Right, it's much better him poisoning my cannon than my Little Prince, because I want that Little Prince on defense. I go for a low Knight just to keep these two troops as close together as possible. And here he goes for this Tesla. Now I know that my troop should kill the Tesla, and if I go for a Hog, then it should bypass it, but yeah, he plays it well. He cycles appropriately. If I was keeping track of his cycle, I could have prediction logged. Since he went for a Knight in the right, I knew he doesn't have a tank, or his only tank is Miner, I guess. So that's why I went for the Little Prince ability, but turns out it didn't really matter. Still didn't get much damage, but we've pressured him well. I go for a Hog, he's back to his Evo Knight, and so, you know, we don't really get much from this push. If he was using, like, normal tower troops, I would consider fireballing, because I'm pretty sure my Hog would get to the tower for, like, a hit or maybe even two. But with Cannoneer, there's just no chance. I go for my split Evos. I was hoping here my Evo on the right would chain, but it just decides not to. So I have to go for this cannon. Again, I don't waste like a Knight or something, just let the cannon do its thing. And again, Little Prince in the back, so even though he poisons it, I still go Little Prince in the back so I get that 3-card cycle, because that's the only way I can win this, is somehow outcycling that Tesla and getting Hog damage. I can't out spell cycle him. Because just minor poison, by the time we get to triple elixir, it's going to be crazy. This was a bad hog. Honestly, it was a really bad hog. I just forget how much damage. Like, you can't hog with a 1 HP Tesla anymore. Cannoneer does way too much. So yeah, that was a bad play. Again, LP in the back, opposite lane. Fireball this on defense. I go for a cannon. Cannon's annoying because he has to choose. If he poisons my little prince, then he can't poison my cannon, and it just stays there. So actually, I should have probably protected it a bit more. I go for my LP ability. Again, I wasn't keeping track properly of his cycle. I forgot that he had his Evo skeletons in cycle. This is, again, so annoying. Skeletons, knight. Little prince on the left this time, because I just want to apply some pressure. We force out the poison. He goes for... I get my ability down just because I want to DPS down that Evo knight as much as I can. I go for a cannon again on defense, and I think I go... Yeah, I should have maybe gone for an Evo Knight up high, but this is fine. Gives me fireball value. I think he was just expecting me not to fireball, because my damage is on the right, but he shouldn't have done that. Again, LP in the back, and it's not looking great, but I'm not that far behind. And you know, the longer my LP is on the board, the better. He just used his knight, so he doesn't have a great tank. So I go for this high cannon, knowing he's going to play a high Tesla. And actually it works out perfectly. I get a lot of damage here and we managed to break through. I go for a hog again at 0 because I knew that he was 1 card away from Tesla and he goes for a knight and has no elixir. I fireball, which gets me that extra hog hit, which honestly you need to take your chances. In this matchup, when you can get your hog to the tower, you need to get as many hits as you can as possible. Yeah, his Mother Witch at the bridge on the right is annoying. He's just spamming me now, kind of out of desperation. I go for, you know, a good defense on both sides, and we're still up, but it's not over. You know, I could mess up. He goes for this low Mother Witch, which actually was bad, just gives me fireball value, and that's basically it. He can't deal with Evo skeletons with a cannoneer. That's the one disadvantage. And yeah, we beat a really hard matchup actually. So again, a really nice game. This finally was my game to get to where I am right now. This guy's playing Golem, and actually it was really nice what happened. He's got Tornado, and I don't really know, he's running a really weird Golem deck with Goblin Gang and Fireball. He goes for a Golem. I think he should have gone Golem same lane. I definitely don't think he should have gone opposite lane. Because now I'm just like, okay, I want to go for a cannon and skeletons on defense, and I'm just going to throw a Hog Rider, right? Because he just used his Tornado. And even if he went Mini P.E.K.K.A, I would have got some damage. But here, he just sacks the entire tower, and I'm like, okay then. You see how it's important to spread out your troops and not let those bats hit my little prince, because then it doesn't die and he has to waste arrows. And so here, this is just all dead. Maybe not the best Evo skeletons, but I've just fully defended. And here he just gives up, because there you go. It's GG's. Right. With that being said, I'm going to end the video there. I'm going to now, in my next video, I'll be playing Hog Eq with Evo Knight and Evo Firecracker, for those of you who don't have Mighty Miner leveled up. So I'll see you guys in my next video. Have a great weekend, and yeah, take care. Bye-bye.